She sat in my kitchen, using my grandmother's china, calling herself the new Mrs. Davidson. My husband just shrugged. Little did they know, I'd already frozen the accounts, sold the cars, and hired the best divorce lawyer in the state. The audacity of it all still takes my breath away. There she was, Brittany, my husband's 23-year-old secretary, sitting at my dining table, sipping tea from my grandmother's Wedgwood china, the set that had been in my family for 4 generations. Her tacky acrylic nails clicked against the delicate porcelain as she smiled at me like a cat who'd gotten into the cream. My name is Veronica Davidson, and at 38, I thought I'd seen it all. I'd built a successful career as a corporate attorney, raised 2 beautiful children, and supported my husband Nathan through his journey from struggling entrepreneur to CEO of a tech startup. What I hadn't seen coming was walking into my own home after a business trip to find another woman wearing my robe. "Oh, you're back early," Brittany chirped, not even having the decency to look embarrassed. "Nathan said you wouldn't be home until tomorrow." I set down my briefcase with deliberate calm, though my blood was boiling. "Did he now?" Nathan appeared in the doorway, and for a moment, just a moment, I saw panic flash across his face. Then he straightened his shoulders and put on that CEO swagger he'd developed over the past 2 years. The same swagger I'd coached him on for board meetings. "Veronica, we need to talk," he said, as if I was an employee he was about to terminate. "Clearly," I replied, watching Brittany help herself to more tea, "though perhaps your guest should leave first." Actually, Brittany stood, smoothing down my silk robe, my favorite, the one Nathan had given me for our 15th anniversary. "I live here now. Nathan and I are together, and you're the one who needs to leave." The laugh that escaped me was sharp enough to cut glass. "I beg your pardon?" Nathan stepped forward, trying to take control of the situation like this was a hostile takeover. "Look, Veronica, let's be adults about this. The marriage has been over for months. You're always working, never home. Brittany understands me in a way you never did." "Understands you?" I repeated. "She's known you for what, 6 months? 8 months, actually," Brittany corrected, examining her nails. "And they've been the best 8 months of both our lives, haven't they, baby?" "Baby." She called my husband of 18 years baby while sitting in my kitchen, using my grandmother's china. "I want a divorce," Nathan announced. "Brittany's pregnant, and we're going to be a real family. It's time you moved on." Pregnant. The word hit me like a physical blow, but I'd be damned if I'd let them see it. Instead, I smiled, the same smile I used in court when I was about to demolish an opponent's case. "Congratulations," I said sweetly. "When are you due, Brittany?" She preened, rubbing her still flat stomach. 3 months. "We're thinking of turning your office into the nursery. It has the best natural light." My office, where I'd worked late nights to keep us afloat during Nathan's failed ventures, where I'd drafted the contracts that saved his company, where I'd built the career that paid for this house. "How wonderful," I said, pulling out my phone. "I should probably start making arrangements then." Nathan relaxed, clearly thinking I was accepting defeat. "I knew you'd be reasonable. We can use Johnson's firm for the divorce, keep it simple and clean." "Oh, I wasn't thinking of Johnson," I said, scrolling through my contacts. "I was thinking of Morrison, Kravitz, and Stone." His face paled. Morrison, Kravitz, and Stone was the most ruthless divorce firm in the state. They'd handled my colleague Sandra's divorce and left her ex-husband living in a studio apartment, despite his 8-figure net worth. That's unnecessary," he stammered. "We can be civilized." "Civilized?" I cut him off. "Like moving your mistress into our home while I was away? Like using my grandmother's china for your little tea party? That kind of civilized?" I pressed a number on my phone. "Hello, James?" "Yes, it's Veronica Davidson. I need you to execute the freeze protocol we discussed." "Yes, immediately. All accounts, all cards." "Perfect, thank you." "What did you just do?" Nathan demanded. "Oh, just a little precaution I set up 6 months ago," I said casually. "You see, darling, when you started working late with your secretary, coming home smelling like her perfume, I got curious, so I did what any good lawyer would do. I investigated." Brittany shifted uncomfortably. "Nathan, what's she talking about?" "I'm talking about the fact that every asset in this marriage is either in my name or tied up in trusts I control," I explained patiently. "The house, bought with my inheritance from my parents. The cars, leased through my firm. The bank accounts, well, the joint ones just got frozen. And the business account," I smiled wider. "Let's just say I'm the majority shareholder in your company. Nathan, silent partner, remember?" The color drained from his face completely. He'd forgotten. In his desperation for funding 2 years ago, He'd signed over 51% of his company to me in exchange for my investment. He'd been so confident, so sure he'd buy me out once the company took off. You can't do this, he said weakly. Actually, I can, and I have. I turned to Brittany, whose confident smile had vanished. Tell me, dear, does Nathan still tell people the story about how he built his company from nothing? How he's a self-made success? She nodded uncertainly. How sweet. Did he mention the $300,000 I invested? The connections I provided? The late nights I spent fixing his disasters while he was networking at bars? Stop it, Veronica, Nathan warned. Oh, I'm just getting started. I pulled out a folder from my briefcase. I'd been carrying it for weeks, waiting for this moment. Brittany, you should probably see these. Credit card statements showing charges at hotels during times Nathan told you he was in meetings. Dating app profiles that were active as recently as last week. Oh, and this one's my favorite, the engagement ring receipt from 2 months ago. We've been engaged for 3 months, Brittany whispered, staring at the receipt. Different ring, different woman, I said sympathetically. Amanda from accounting, I believe. She turned him down. You were the backup plan. That's not true, Nathan exploded. Brittany, don't listen to her. She's just bitter. Bitter? I laughed. Oh honey, I'm not bitter. I'm prepared. While you were playing house, I was playing chess. Every move you've made, I've been 3 steps ahead. My phone buzzed. Oh, that'll be the movers. They'll be here in an hour to pack your things. Nathan, my things? This is my house too. No, it's not. It never was. You've been a guest here, just like your little girlfriend. And checkout time is now. Brittany stood up, tears streaming down her face. Nathan, is this true? All of it? He couldn't meet her eyes. That was answer enough. You told me she was cold, that she never loved you, Brittany said, her voice shaking. You said you were separated, that the divorce was just a formality. We were emotionally separated. Nathan tried weakly. We had sex last week, I said bluntly. Is that what you call emotionally separated? Brittany made a sound like a wounded animal. I'm such an idiot. My mom warned me about dating my boss, but you seemed so sincere, so successful. His success is an illusion, I said, almost feeling sorry for her. Almost. Every achievement, every milestone, built on my foundation. Without me, he's just a mediocre salesman with delusions of grandeur. Enough. Nathan slammed his fist on the table, making the china rattle. You've made your point. What do you want? What do I want? I pretended to consider. I want you to understand what you've thrown away. I want you to know that your company will be dissolved by the end of the month. I'm already in talks with our biggest competitor for a buyout. I want you to realize that your corporate cards are cancelled, your expense account is frozen, and your company car is being repossessed as we speak. As if on cue, we heard a truck pull up outside. Through the window, I could see a tow truck backing up to Nathan's prized Tesla. No, he ran to the window. That's my car. That's the company's car, I corrected, and as majority shareholder, I've decided to liquidate non-essential assets. Brittany was backing away from both of us now. I need to go. This is insane. Wait. Nathan grabbed her arm. We can work this out. We have the baby. There is no baby, Brittany said quietly. I lied. I thought if I was pregnant, you'd finally leave her like you promised. She laughed bitterly. God, we're both liars, aren't we? Perfect for each other. She fled the room, and moments later, we heard the front door slam. Nathan sank into a chair, my chair, at the head of the table. Even now, he was trying to claim dominance in my space. You've ruined everything, he said dully. No, Nathan, you ruined everything the moment you decided I wasn't enough. I started collecting my grandmother's china, carefully placing each piece back in the cabinet. I gave you 18 years. I gave you children, a home, a career, respectability, and you threw it all away for a girl barely out of college. It wasn't just about her, he protested. You're always working, always focused on your career. When's the last time we just talked? When's the last time you looked at me like I was more than just another item on your to-do list? When's the last time you gave me a reason to? I shot back. You want to talk about being ignored? How about all those times you dismissed my advice about your business? How about when you told investors that your success was all your own doing? How about every time you introduced me as just a lawyer instead of the woman who saved your ass countless times? The movers arrived then, efficient and discreet. I'd hired the best, the ones who handled celebrity divorces and knew how to work quickly and quietly. Your personal belongings will be in storage, I informed Nathan as they began loading boxes. You can arrange pickup once you have a new address. Your clothes, your gadgets, your awards, you can have them all, but everything else stays. Where am I supposed to go? He looked genuinely lost now, the CEO swagger completely gone. That's not my problem anymore. I handed him a business card. This is my lawyer. All future communication goes through her. Oh, and Nathan? You'll want to update your resume. The board meeting to discuss your termination is Monday morning. You can't fire me from my own company. It's not your company. It never really was. I picked up my briefcase, ready to leave him to watch his life get packed into boxes. You know what the saddest part is? I actually loved you, even when I knew about the affairs, even when I was protecting myself legally. Part of me hoped you'd wake up and remember what we had. He looked up at me then, and for a moment, I saw the man I'd married, the dreamer with big ideas and bigger ambitions, the man who'd promised we'd build an empire together. Ronnie, he said softly, using the nickname he hadn't called me in years, can't we work this out? For the kids? The kids who you haven't asked about once during this entire conversation? I shook my head. They're with my mother. By the way, I told them Daddy had to go on a business trip. I'll let you explain why that trip is permanent. You're really going to do this? Destroy me completely? I'm not destroying you, Nathan. I'm just removing my support. If you can't stand without me, that's on you. I paused at the doorway. Oh, one more thing. Brittany's not the only one who's been lying. Remember that conference in Chicago last month? I wasn't at a conference. I was meeting with the partners at Morrison, Kravitz, and Stone. We've been building a case that will make divorce history. Adultery, financial misconduct, breach of fiduciary duty, it's all there. I'll fight you, he said, but there was no conviction in his voice. With what resources? Your personal account has maybe $5,000. Your credit cards are maxed out from your little shopping sprees for Brittany. Your lawyer friends won't touch this case once they see what we have. I smiled one last time. Face it, Nathan, you played yourself. And you lost. I left him sitting there among the boxes and movers, still clutching the table like it could save him from drowning. The house would be empty within hours, just walls and furniture, a shell of the life we'd built together. My phone rang as I got in my car. It was Sarah from Morrison, Kravitz, and Stone. Veronica? I just got word that Nathan's trying to transfer company funds to a personal account in the Caymans. Good thing we froze everything yesterday. He always was predictable, I said, pulling out of the driveway of what would soon be only my house. File the emergency injunction. And Sarah? Make sure Brittany Hamilton gets a copy of everything. She might want to sue him too. You're being generous to the mistress? She's 23 and naive. He's 41 and calculating. She was a victim too, in her way. I took one last look at the house in my rearview mirror. Besides, the more people coming after him, the less he'll have to fight me with. The divorce took 6 months. Nathan tried every trick in the book, but I'd anticipated them all. He hired 3 different law firms, each dropping him when they realized the hopelessness of his case. He tried to hide assets, but I'd been tracking every penny for years. He even tried to claim I'd been abusive, but 18 years of documentation proved otherwise. In the end, he got exactly what he'd brought into the marriage, nothing. The house remained mine. The company was dissolved and sold, the proceeds going to pay off the investors I'd brought in. His reputation in the tech world was ruined when word got out about how he'd tried to steal from his own company. Brittany testified in my favor, providing emails and texts that proved Nathan had been planning to divorce me and hide assets. She'd kept everything. Smart girl. She even produced recordings of him bragging about how he'd take me for everything. The irony was delicious. The kids took it hard at first, but therapy helped. They're in college now, both studying law. They say they want to be like me, prepared for anything. I take that as a compliment. Nathan, last I heard, was working as a sales manager at an electronics store. He'd tried to start another company, but no one would invest. His reputation preceded him. He lived in a 1-bedroom apartment on the outskirts of town, driving a 10-year-old Honda. Sometimes I'd see him at the grocery store, looking older, defeated. He'd try to talk to me, but I'd just smile and keep walking. Brittany went back to school, got her MBA, and started her own consulting firm. We actually had coffee once, about a year after everything went down. She thanked me for the wake-up call and apologized for her part in it all. I told her we all make mistakes in our 20s. The important thing is learning from them. As for me, I made partner at my firm, bought a beach house, and started dating a wonderful man who appreciates what he has. Someone who sees me as a partner, not a stepping stone. Someone who knows that success shared is success doubled. Sometimes I think about that day, finding Brittany in my kitchen, wearing my robe, using my grandmother's china. The audacity still amazes me, but I'm grateful for it. In a way, if Nathan had been smarter, more careful, I might have spent years more in a marriage that was slowly killing my soul. Instead, he showed me exactly who he was. And I showed him exactly who I'd always been, a woman who protects what's hers, who plans for every contingency, who knows that the best revenge isn't served cold. It's served with legal documents and a smile. The china set now sits in my new house, in a cabinet with better lighting. Every morning, I have my coffee from those delicate cups, and I think about inheritance, not just of objects, but of strength, wisdom, and the knowledge that we deserve partners who see our worth. Nathan saw my worth only when it was gone. By then, I'd already moved on to someone who'd seen it all along, myself.